morning, anyone who's listening. Let me just get you a little bit more stable so you can see what's going on. Just tilt it a bit. There we go. That should be better. Right. So we're moving on to the main mast. The system I used on the foremast here was fine, but this one's got an odd number, and I don't want it. I'm still going to do 2 and 2, 2 and 2, but what I'm going to do is set up the dead eye on this side, go up to the tree, round the mast and down the other side, and come out at number 1 on the other side. So I'm going to need strings about this length. Having been effectively on holiday for 2 weeks, I'm going to reposition everything and find out where everything is, of course. So there's one of my wires, so I've got to find the other one. Anyway, start off with 2 this length. Now, obviously I want number 1 on the port side to match number 1 on the starboard side. So what I'm going to do the 2, I'll put obviously one on top of the other. But my next little job is to put a little bit of tape on one of these, which will be the mark it for me as the number 1. So just got to reposition myself onto the bench, bring a camera around with me, and I'll see you in a few seconds. So back to this part. So I'm going to need a whole load of these out, so I'll get 4 out for now. Try not to do it with throwing them over the bench. Now this one, this is just to make little knots. You know what I'm talking about. The biggest one is when it comes to tying up the dead eyes, how much thread do I need? Always fun. But I'm going to show you a little trick for tying up the dead eyes, which was passed on to me by Greg Wilson, another model shipbuilder, and I tried it on the last part of the foremast and it worked perfectly. Instead of using my needle threader, because when you're doing the dead eyes you can't get the needle threader behind. Let me see, I've got to try and get this camera in the right place so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Yeah, you can't get the needle threader behind the dead eye to get it through the hole. Guys, I could do that 100 times and 99 out of 100 it goes perfectly. This is the one that didn't. Okay. So, hope you can see I pulled the thread tight there. Take that down as close as you can to the dead eye. Position the dead eye so that the hole is directly above. Now I need to get some magnification for me. A little bit of extra light. Just so I can see the holes in the dead eye. Now this one's got a triangle which is quite pronounced, so that should do it right there. Now the biggest problem I find is getting this knot up tight against the dead eye. So let's try it like this. There it is, it's tight there. So, little tiny bit of glue on the end here. Believe it or not, that little bit of glue seeps through to the black and it'll hold. And that's one. So I'll make sure I don't pick up the other end of the same one because that will be adjusted later. So once again, the hole in the dead eye, the hole in the dead eye, remember I said the holes are in a little triangle. It's when you need 10 fingers which can hold. See the dead eye popping out again. Not nice and tight. Hold the string up. You could do all kinds of tricks like putting a bulldog clip or something on the string just to make sure it doesn't slip. But you can see it, that holds it. Not too bad. A little bit of glue again. Right, so that's two done like that. So what I want to do is put a little bit of tape. Any kind of tape, makes no difference what you use. I like to use my masking tape, which is this one. Nice bright colour. And guys, you only need a little bit of tape. That's if you can peel it. Only need a little bit like that, which you can put down on the bottom of the other string. That just helps you to mark out which string is going to be number one. Now, I'm going to prepare some dead eye string. So the way I do that, this is, well, as I say, Greg Wilson suggested that I put about 1 centimetre of glue on the end of a string. So straight away I'm going to need 4. Now, when it comes to how long these should be, you can only go by what you've used before. Let me try and show you how much I've used. On the rule, it works out to about 40 to 45 centimetres. So I've got 4 ropes here. Remember, these are the ones which are going to go backwards and forwards on the dead eye. So put some glue on this board here. About 1 centimetre of glue, roughly like that, and then just lay the thread in, take it out. tried various things of putting it against a metal rule till it dried, but that ended up flattening. I find personally the best way is just to let it hang over the edge or something, so I hang it over the end of the table here. Try not to let them touch each other because they will stick. They stick to each other anyway, but when they got glue on they're even worse. There we go. Just let them dry in the air. Meanwhile we can go back to string number 1 and I'll see you back at the ship. So, till I've been away from it for a wee while, it takes me a bit to get my hands working again. You can laugh, but at my age I have all kinds of problems with different arthritises, which makes it fun to try and do this. Not. I've got to bring the magnifier around so I can see what I'm doing. Biggest problem I have is keeping the magnifier out of the range of the camera, but where I can still use it. And right now I can't get to that point, so what I've got to look is to see where the holes are on this. There's one down there. I need this in a bit closer so I can see where the holes are. So, I'm hoping one of you cameras can pick this up. It goes up through here. Underneath these two. Round the back. Of course the tape that I put on doesn't help much. So that comes back through here. Now, the way Artesania Latina show it in their pictorial representation is that you just take it round and you glue it just, let's take my hand out of the way, you glue it just there and then you cut it off. Well, I'm not cutting it off, I'm just carrying it on round. So we'll glue it to the mast. A little bit of glue with the join. Now the way I shall do this, I shall do 2 from this side and then I'll do 2 from the other side. So I'll change that. I shall do 2 from this side, going up that way, and then do the 2 on the other side which match this 2, and I'll do the other 2 from the port side back this way. Hope that's clear. But what I'll probably do now is put you on fast forward, and hopefully you can still see what I'm doing. Let me see if I can reposition the cameras a little bit so we see the whole process. Right guys, you can see hopefully you can see that I did a little repair there. Let's see if I can get in closer. To get my soldering iron out and put a little bit of solder underneath, but to get it underneath I had to do a little bit of running repair with a bit of brass, which it'll be painted black in the next little step. Right, carry on with this. This is where I was up to with this dead eye. So the back one comes up around the back and ties itself in a little knot at the back here. How you do your knots is up to you. This just keeps the dead eye ropes in line and straight. And like I said, these strings will stick to each other like, I don't know. I've never met a string that can tie itself to itself so quickly as these ropes do. So I don't know what they make them from. So what I do now, and I stress this is how I do it. I go round and round a bit, 12 to 14 times until I've got about a centimetre. What you have to make sure is that the loops don't cross each other, otherwise it looks untidy. And of course everything's moving, so it doesn't help. So you can get them to a position where you can where you can wrap the string around a few times. It helps, but look, it doesn't matter how many times you do this, you always end up with bad loops. What gets me about this is how it was always done in the early 19th century, late 18th, early 19th century. And you know from the model that they had copper bottom bots, so they were already working with metal. I suppose a copper clamp wouldn't have been as tight as binding it up with rope. I don't know. I'm sure there's some historians on here that could tell us why they didn't use metal. You can see I'm trying to get the loops to lie on top of each other, and they're not behaving. It really is one of the most frustrating little jobs. There we are. It's more frustrating for me because I suffer from a bad back, and the position I have to be in to do this means I can only do 2 or 3 at a session, and then I have to stop, which is why it takes me so long to do this. Right, now I can hold it in place. I might be able to do 2 or 3. Just 3, and then pull them down. Of course the last one wants to come down its own. Yes, I think that's just where it got it. So, finish it off. As always, with a knot. Do a half knot, pull it down so it's tight like that. And then I do another half knot. Don't know why I call them half knot. They're not. So we'll match that in a bit. There we go. And finish it off. You can see with these long spouts how long the glue takes to go down that spout. Oh yeah, put a little bit on here. I'll just stop that when that rope gets cut. I'll just stop it from fraying. And that's it, guys. Work your way along. 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way along. So the next thing I'm going to do, my door was under here, so I must have just knocked it off. You probably saw it flying off. So it takes 2 seconds to put on. See if I can get it in the right place. It's just the doorway cover. Right, I shall carry on, and as I say, you might see this one tonight, you might not until next week. I'm trying to make a store of videos so that I'm not scrambling to get a video out. Health and life kind of take priority over everything. Okay, see you later. Right guys, just want to show you that's the 2 dead eyes on the starboard side, which match up with the 2 on the port side. I realised when I looked at last year's video, finishing this off, that I got my ports and my starboards confused. This of course is the port side, that's the starboard side. Okay, I'll try and get this one in tonight's video. There won't be another one for another week now because I'm going to try and stack up some video to fill out the time. Not to fill out the time, but to so I don't have to spend so much time just sitting at the computer editing, and do a bit more time building, I hope. Okay, if you like what I'm doing, subscribe, like, share. When you subscribe, you see a little bell icon come up, that's notifications, and if you press that, you'll be told whenever the video comes up on my site, no matter what it is. I apologise for all the clutter in the background. I'm still sorting my shed out. You can see the box where the kit is there, along with some of my other tools and wood for other projects. Okay, see you hopefully next Monday. Just a quick addendum to my last video. I've spent a few days doing, not rash, but just a couple at a time. That's the bottom half of the main mast shrouds done. So it's just the mizzen mast shrouds, and then we can start on middle rails and what have you. Okay, that was just an addendum to my last video, so I'll try and get this one out tonight. See you later guys.